This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Friday, the 8th day of November in the year 2019. Here's what we're tracking tonight. The chairperson of the Guyana Elections Commission has indicated that while the commission will go ahead with the publishing of the names of over 20,000 persons who are still to collect their ID cards since 2008, those persons will still be allowed to vote if they show up on elections day with some other form of identification. At a press conference today, the GECOM chairman, Justice Claudette Singh, clarified that the commission will not include the names of the persons on the official list of electors, but rather their names will appear on a supplemental voters list that will be posted at polling stations.
So it is not GECOM's intention to disenfranchise anyone, and this exercise is not a witch hunting exercise as is being rumored. GECOM has no intention of disenfranchising anyone. And it's not a witch hunting exercise, it's just a verification process. All we want is the person to come forward and verify their existence. That is all there is to this exercise. And this is provided by the law.
And polling agents will be armed with additional information that will contain the name and photograph of all voters, including those who did not uplift their ID cards. The GECOM chairman said the move is covered by law.
The proviso to Section 668 of the National Registration Act, as amended by Act 14 of 2005, states that the Commission can utilize verification of the list at any time. And so this is the procedure being utilized to cleanse the list. This is a method of verification. We're using that. You see, the Chief Justice said we can utilize we have an option to utilize either verifying the list either by house to house or by any other form of verification. Now, that is one method of verification. These persons who are supposed to come in and collect their card, it's not that they must have the card to vote. They don't have to take it at all. But it's a method of verification that you want to know why you have these cards still. Where are these people? We want to know if they're alive or whatever.
The Elections Commission is expected to publish the names of the over 20,000 persons in the local press this weekend. Additionally, registered mails will be also dispatched to those persons at their listed addresses. Persons will have 21 days to appear at the GECOM office to uplift the cards. Failure to do so will result in a name being removed from the list but placed on that supplementary list. But they will be allowed to vote, as the GECOM chairman said, and as was reiterated by the chief elections officer.
I go into a polling station. My name is listed. I don't have anything. I say my name is Keith Lowenfield. Loud to the staff, to the agents from Party XYZ. They have their folio. This look like Keith Lowenfield.
Persons should have no doubt, with them or without them, that GECOM would not produce credible elections. Everything is being done by GECOM to produce free, fair, and credible elections. No one should have any doubt about that. Everything is being done. And so we welcome everyone to have a look, all these foreign observers. We are not shutting the door on anyone.
Guyana is getting set for elections on the 2nd of March, 2020. More news coming up in just a moment.
Tired of long lines? Register with MyGTT at mygtt.co.gy. That's mygtt.co.gy to view and pay your bills from anywhere. Enter to win an Amazon gift card worth $25 or a bounty voucher worth 5,000 Guyana dollars when you sign up today. GTT, do more.
Enter the GBTI Quick Cash Christmas promotion and make it a Christmas to remember. you get up to $500,000 easy for anything you want this Christmas. Plus, enter for a chance to win fabulous items for your home. One complete 7-foot granite top base kitchen cabinet, one sectional suite, one 5-piece dinette set, and complimentary baskets of goodies. Apply at your nearest branch or online at www.gbtibank.com. GBTI, we see Christmas through your eyes.
Conducting a claims and objections exercise from the 1st of October 2019. During this exercise, objections to the inclusion of the name of anyone who is suspected not to have met the eligibility requirements for inclusion in the PLE could be made only by an elector who is listed in the same divisional list in which the person being objected to is listed, or accredited scrutineers of political parties, providing any such scrutineer has monitoring responsibilities for the division in which the person being objected to is listed. Objections can be tendered to the registration officer of the registration area from the 1st of October 2019 to the 11th of November 2019. You must present the relevant original documents in order for the transaction to be completed. Don't delay. Visit the nearest GECOM registration office today. For more information, visit our website at www.gecom.org.gy. Follow GECOM on Facebook at Guyana Elections Commission. Contact us on 225-0277-9 or 223-9653. Email pro@gecom.org.gy or the nearest GECOM registration office.
Fuel it up and drive, super 95, tune up. Fuel it up and drive, super 95, tune up. Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guy Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guy's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive.
Guyana, the moment you've been waiting for is here. It's the Ministry of Education's Guyana Teachers Union 59th National School Cycling, Swimming and Track and Field Championships on November 17th through 22. Come see top student athletes and teachers from 15 sporting districts compete in intense rivalry. Cycling at the National Park, Georgetown. Swimming at the National Aquatic Center, Liliendal, November 18. And on November 19 through 22, the Track and Field at the National Track and Field Center, Leonora. Action starts 9:30. The National Championships where stars are born. Powered by Malta Supreme, Hits and Jams Entertainment, and NCN.
Welcome back. The Chief Elections Officer, Keith Lowenfield, today dismissed criticism that the Secretariat of the Guyana Elections Commission has been operating on its own. At the GECOM press conference, Mr. Lowenfield pointed to the work of his Secretariat and said there is no disconnect from the Commission.
I don't know about disconnect between the Secretariat and the Commission, and any cause for concern, as a matter of fact. I've been here almost 2 decades, and I've always had and continues to have a very easy rapport and relationship with all commissioners.
Mr. Lowenfield has been singled out by the opposition leader for almost weekly attacks. The opposition leader has in the past even accused the Chief Elections Officer of blocking elections consultants from the UNDP. Today, both the CEO and the chairman of the commission denied that claim.
So I was surprised when I heard from the General Secretary that I would have blocked, because I know the reporting mechanism for UNDP is to the not to the General Secretary, but to the Secretary General. So for one to move to a point where there is a deliberation in this boardroom, GECOM and this agency, and the next I hear is that this is being said, Lowenfield is withholding this. I thought that is the Secretary General speaking. But I know in the diplomatique, it doesn't happen that way. So I think that was a question that should have been asked. How is it you got this? And you're not the Secretary General.
Lowenfield said the Secretariat is moving ahead with plans for elections, and that is where he's focusing. He said a lot of elections day material has already been bought, and other plans are being put in place for the March elections. Still in the world of politics, the People's National Congress Reform, which is the largest party in the coalition government, is warning Guyanese not to be duped by what it sees as the dishonesty and hypocrisy of the opposition leader Barra Jagdeo and his People's Progressive Party. At its weekly press conference, the General Secretary of the PNC Reform, Amna Ali, expressed shock at a recent statement from the opposition leader that a non-disclosure of major government contracts should be a criminal offense.
The PPP, in the person of its General Secretary, and Irfan Ali, that party's presidential candidate, has taken dishonesty and hypocrisy to new heights. For the PPP's General Secretary, a man who, while as president, never made public the contracts he signed, to tell the media that it should be a crime to keep contracts secret is disingenuous, hypocritical, and ridiculous.
Ms. Ali reminded that it was the PPP that signed the original Exxon contract back in 1999, and that contract was never made public. She said it is the coalition government that has been making all major contracts available to the public.
There was no transparency when the PPP was in office, and that was one of the reasons why the people of Guyana voted them out of office in May 2015, just 4 short years ago. The PPP, while in government in 1999, signed a contract with ExxonMobil. The PPP never disclosed the contents of that contract with the people of Guyana. The same PPP that is now promising to make non-disclosure of contracts a criminal offense never disclosed any of the major contracts they signed while they were in office.
The PNC General Secretary said the opposition leader who served as president for 12 years while his party was in government ought to be ashamed of himself when it comes to his position on several issues. She said the PNC will continue to point out his hypocrisy. In a speech to the 2019 graduating class of President's College, President David Granger said he intends to leave Guyana's youths a much better Guyana. He pointed to the emerging oil sector and the changes that it will bring to the country. According to the president, those graduating today must prepare to take over leadership in the future.
This country, Guyana, belongs to you. I don't intend to take it where I'm going. I have to leave it to you and for you. And the most I can do is to hand you over the country in a better shape than I inherited it. But you will inherit the biggest, the most beautiful, and the most bountiful Caribbean country of all.
And the president once again reinforced his plan for a decade of development for Guyana beginning next year, explaining that it is geared towards preparing the country for rapid development that will benefit everyone.
Guyana belongs to you. This is the country that you will be expected to protect and preserve for generations to come. The emergent petroleum state, the green state, and the digital state will enable you to live comfortably, will enable you to enjoy a decent and dignified existence in the land of your birth. Guyana needs you. It needs highly skilled persons to populate these new economic sectors. It will need an A to Z of scientists, from agronomists and cardiologists down to zoologists, if we are to transform the economy of this country. It is for this reason that we're emphasizing science and technology education, which will allow us to acquire the skills needed to propel development and to make this country more competitive internationally.
President Granger presented a number of prizes to the top graduating students and also handed over a new bus to the school to assist those children who have to travel every day for classes at the Premier High School. The Guyana Police Force last evening launched a massive campaign against those cars with colored headlamps and those with those extra bright super white lights. Several motorists were pulled over and escorted to the police traffic headquarters and told that they are in breach of the Motor Vehicles and Road Traffic Regulations, which speaks of illumination. The regulation states that every motor vehicle, the width of which does not exceed 7 feet during the hours of darkness, shall carry 2 lamps, each showing to the front a white light visible from a reasonable distance. The Guyana Police Force intends to take the campaign across the country. In the courts, the 2 Guyanese fishermen who were arrested in Suriname and handed over to local police have been charged with the murders of the 4 fishermen who were killed at sea and their bodies dumped overboard. The accused, 22-year-old Adnut Budraj and 21-year-old O'Brien Fraser, both of Quarantine Berbice, were not required to enter a plea when they were taken to court today and slapped with 4 murder charges each. They are accused of killing fishermen Vishnu Siram, Marvin Tamasar, Lamar Petrie, and Ajay Kisoon back in early October. 3 others have already been charged and remanded for the same murders. The bunk bodies of Siram and Kisoon were discovered when they washed up on the seashore in Berbice. The bodies of the other 2 fishermen are yet to be recovered. The 4 fishermen were attacked while at sea in early October during their fishing trip by the gang of 5. They were chopped about the body, then tied up, and later dumped overboard. Still in the courts, a 26-year-old former resident of West Rheinveld was this morning sentenced to 14 months in jail after he was found guilty of breaking into a home and carting off more than $1.4 million in jewelry and electronic items. The sentence was handed down by Magistrate Rondell Weaver after she found Sion Isaacs guilty of the crime. The man was charged back in July 2019 after he broke into the Caneview Avenue South Rheinveld home of Sandra Adams and carted off several pieces of the woman's personal belongings. The homeowner returned home while the man was in the middle of the act and she raised an alarm. He was able to drive away from the scene but was later arrested and charged. He was carted off to jail this afternoon to begin his 14-month prison sentence. Across the Region is coming up next.
We are legions of men standing strong, but never too proud to stoop and help someone. We must send a clear signal to all. Do right, walk in upright ways, knowing that's what being a man is all about. And ever aware that things will only get worse when good men do nothing. Stand strong, be the one to live right.
Calling all bettors, November 9th to the Tower poolside
as Selector Carl celebrates his
birthnight party
called Bacchanal and Water.
Get ready to fetch as it's Carnival in November.
Ladies, get out your bikini,
short jeans,
flip-flops,
party in wet sections or dry sections.
Music by the Boom DJs,
Fusion,
P-Star Perry,
Father Moe,
sponsored by
Stag Beer,
Future Express,
Chan Printing,
94.1. Bacchanal and Water.
There once was a man named Stan whose business needed a new plan. Christmas was coming, this much was true. He needed some help but didn't know what to do. Then fast as a flash, 3 helpers did come from Republic Bank. They came with some. One had low interest rates, one reduced equity, one with approval so quick and easy. Now Stan is the man and his business is booming. Christmas is good and he is winning. Reach more customers and boost your business with a Republic Small Business Loan today.
The Guyana Elections Commission would be conducting a claims and objections exercise from the 1st of October 2019. During this exercise, objections to the inclusion of the name of anyone who is suspected not to have met the eligibility requirements or inclusion in the PLE could be made only by an elector who is listed in the same divisional list in which the person being objected to is listed, or accredited scrutineers of political parties, providing any such scrutineer has monitoring responsibilities for the division in which the person being objected to is listed. Objections can be tendered to the registration officer of the registration area from the 1st of October 2019 to the 11th of November 2019. You must present the relevant original documents in order for the transaction to be completed. Don't delay. Visit the nearest GECOM registration office today. For more information, visit our website at www.gecom.org.gy. Follow GECOM on Facebook at Guyana Elections Commission. Contact us on 225-0277-9 or 223-9653. Email pro@gecom.org.gy or the nearest GECOM registration office.
Across the region right now, Brazil's top court has voted to overturn a rule about the jailing of criminals, a change which could lead to ex-President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva being freed from custody. The ruling, which was announced yesterday, stipulates that convicted criminals should go to the prison only after they have exhausted their appeal options. The change could lead to the release of thousands of prisoners, including Lula. The left-winger led Brazil between 2003 and 2010, but was jailed last year. He was the favorite to win last year's presidential election, but was imprisoned after being implicated in a major corruption investigation. However, even if he is released, he will be barred from standing for office because of the criminal record. The UN General Assembly has once again voted overwhelmingly to condemn the American economic embargo of Cuba for the 28th year, rejecting U.S. criticism of human rights violations there and criticizing the Trump administration's increasingly tough enforcement measures. The vote in the 193-member world body was 187-3, with the U.S., Israel, and Brazil voting no, and Colombia and Ukraine abstaining. Last year, the Assembly voted 189-2, with the U.S. and Israel voting no and no abstentions. General Assembly resolutions are not legally binding and are unenforceable, but they reflect world opinion, and the vote has given Cuba an annual stage to demonstrate the isolation of the U.S. on the embargo. And finally tonight, international news. The body in charge of the Public Health Service in Zimbabwe has said that 211 doctors have been sacked this week because of their ongoing strike for better pay. The doctors were found guilty of absenting themselves from duty without leave or reasonable cause for 5 or more days, according to a statement from the Health Service Board. The strike began back in September. The Health Service Board said almost a third of doctors, 516 out of 1,601 employed in government-funded hospitals, either have faced or will face disciplinary tribunals. The Zimbabwe Hospital Doctors Association has not commented on the latest news, but had earlier complained of intimidation, according to the Reuters news agency. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley, reporting.